favorite places to eat. Bagel Express.
Bagel Express. It was opened in 1993 in Sugarland by Mr. Barry Shapiro. It has been in business for around 30 years. It has over 22 varieties of New York-style bagels, rolled, boiled, and baked by hand in the store in Sugarland. It also sells a variety of breakfast and lunch items. Ah, bagels, yummy and full of math. That's correct. I get to go behind the scenes of an actual bagel shop, Bagel Express, and talk to its owner. Let's get in.
Mathematics, simple mathematics. I'm crazy about it. The numbers just like to somebody. And I sit down with them and they tell me what something is going to cost me. I already can figure out how many units I can make out of that thing. I can figure out all my ingredients and what they cost and what those ratios are to come up with what it costs me to make a bagel. If you ask any of my competitors or people in the bakery business, I have no idea.
A bakery uses a ton of math, from using measuring cups to be very precise, doing fractions. For example, they need 1/8 of a cup, but only have a size of 1/4. They have to calculate 1/8 of a cup as half of 1/4. They use percentages for scaling up things. Say they missed an ingredient, they have to use percentages to scale it up. They use a lot of multiplication, division, sum, and difference too for inventory and ordering ingredients.
You have to maintain standards, and you have to have a basic knowledge of some things you weigh in pounds. Some things come in kilograms. I know that 22.6 kilograms is 50 pounds. Some things are liters.
They also use a lot of measuring tools, such as cup measures, teaspoon measures, scales, liquid measuring cups, and timers.
In a pound, there's 16 ounces. So each ounce is 0.0625. So if it was a 4-ounce bagel, it would be 0.25. I want my bagels to be anywhere between 0.29 and 0.31% of a pound, which comes out to 5 ounces. So if I do everything right, on 165 pounds of dough, at a 5-ounce piece of dough, I will create 41.5 dozen bagels, which is 498 bagels. Making dough, which I love to do, because it's all math.
Right.
2 bags of flour generated 40 dozen, right? That would be 40 bags of flour times 7 days is 280 bags of flour. So I would get 300 bags of flour in case somebody had a special catering event. I knew if I got 300 bags of flour, if I put 4.5 pounds of sugar in every 2 bags of flour, I would know how much sugar I had to order. I look at percentages of all the bagels that we make and how many are plain and how many are sesame and how many are poppy, and based on those percentages, I would order the right amount of sesame seeds, the right amount of poppy seeds, onion seeds, garlic seeds, and there's a basic formula that we try to stick to, and that is our payroll. We try to keep between 25 and 28%. Our food cost, we have to keep below 35%. 35% is the high end. So ease of math, if you take 30% labor, 35% of food costs, that's 65%, which means out of every dollar I take in, 65 cents is gone. That leaves 35 cents. We want our rent to be somewhere between 6 and 8%. If your rent is more than 8%, maybe 9% isn't a big deal, but if it's 10 or 11 or 12%, you have no chance. So we have, I'm trying to do this without papers. We have 35 cents and 8% goes to the rent. Now we're left with 27 cents. Then you have to pay for the utilities. 27 cents now is maybe 23 cents. Then we have insurance. I try to clear out of here 13 to 14%. And the only way that you can do that is to know the answers to your questions.
For my Math Around Town GT project, I created a board game called the Bagel Express. It contains 9 mathematical concepts found in text, 2 to 6 players at a time. Each player has the chance to roll a die or draw a card. If they decide to roll the die, the player must move as many steps as the die tells them to. If they decide to draw a card, they must follow what the card says. If they get a picture card, they must go to the picture that the card is telling them to. If they land on a nothing bagel, they get nothing and in fact even lose their turn. If they land on a question box, they must answer the question. If they get it wrong, they lose their turn. If they get it correct, they get to move forward 1 step. First person to become Bagel King wins.
You happen to be in the #1 elementary school in all of Houston. Commonwealth Elementary is not just the best elementary school in Fort Bend, it's the best public school, elementary school in all of Houston.